Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. My morning started off a little interesting. You know, I woke up, hit the shower. My little brother wanted to shower for 30 minutes, so I'll make sure I return that favor to him. When he gotta get up and, you know what I'm saying, gotta get to work, I'll make sure I give him that same courtesy. But let's talk about love stories, because it's out on all DSPs right now. Love Stories is a song that I wrote. First, I want to shout out Byron for making the beat, and I want to shout out Rockton Studios because he made the beat, and he mixed it all there. I did the song there. I did the song there with him as well. I also shot the video there at the same time. So as I was recording the song, I pretty much shot the video at the same exact time and just mixed it together when I got back home. So pretty much, I wasn't sure where I was going to take the song at, the direction I would go in with the song. I had a lot of ideas when I heard it. I was like, I love the beat off the rip. And I said, what am I going to do? Like, what direction am I going to go in? But one thing I did want to establish was that I wanted to pretty much talk about something and stay on topic for the duration of the song. I didn't want to deviate from heartbreak or love story. I wanted to kind of stay there. So I kind of just went with the vibe. And I started just, and I kind of wanted to load the words up a little bit. So when if the first line is late night texts of bad moods that lead to bad news, I said, I'm gonna ride this. I'm gonna ride this out. I'm gonna see what I can do here. And I stayed there, and I was like, let me start talking about a story. And so the first verse is literally about a story I saw. I've seen this happen a million times. Like, I'm talking way too many times for my comfort. Probably why I'm paranoid about relationships now. So that's what the first verse is centered on. It's centered on a story about somebody else. The second one is centered about me, right? And it's actually talking about a specific situation that I was in. And obviously, at the end of it, that's what happened to me. And believe it or not, I was talking about a specific situation I was in, but what makes it ironic is that I had maybe 3 or 4 situations that fit in that mold. But I was talking about one situation in particular, which tells me that I got some growing to do in that space. But yeah, that was specifically what that was for. I'm talking about one particular situation. And that particular situation, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not that old. Not that old. Little old. I'll say it's within a year. And it's something that bothered me a lot. It bothered me a lot. It's been one of those situations that took me some time to get over. Some time to really accept that, hey, this is what happened to me. This is how I went. This is how I dealt with it. It is what it is. It took me some time. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I wanna, as an artist, as a man, you be trying to put on that provide, that I'm good. That shit hurt. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't got nothing to even. I'm not even gonna try to play tough. That shit hurt a lot. And so through that exchange, because of what happened to me, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, it kind of, I'm not gonna say it warped my perception, but it changed the way I dealt with women in any kind of like an intimate space. like I kind of got to a point where I was like I don't want to get too close unless that's something I want to pursue. I don't want to give you any indicators of anything unless I know I want to pursue you long term. Like, it kind of pulled me back from it a little bit, made me question myself, question my worth, question like, am I decent? Am I good? Like, it had me questioning everything about it. And I guess I could go into details about it at some point, but it was just a really bad situation, and it happened at a really bad time. So, but what I can say is what I learned through that is this: when somebody shows you in the very beginning of y'all transactions and transgressions, that's what they are. Believe them. Like, don't put them in position to play with your feelings. If you've already seen them kind of be inconsistent, if you already seen them kind of disappear, if you already kind of seen them do certain things, this isn't the time to give them a second chance. This time that you abort mission. The second chance occurs when y'all been together and for a couple of years or something, and something happens. Not in the talking stage, right? And that's what I learned. And love stories is largely overall inspired by like just heartbreak. heartbreak. You know, we all experience it. Most of us are going to experience it a couple times, and it never gets easier. You just get to a point where you're like, you understand the game, right? And that's what you heard me say in the song, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so it's one of those things where you learn to accept the game. Like, hey, it is what it is. This is what I'm going through. We got to do what we got to do. And that's kind of where I'm not going to say where you end off at, but that's kind of where you're like, you know what, that is what it is. I got to accept that. And so, you know, I struggle with that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I definitely struggle with that. I struggled a lot. And now I'm finally at a point today where I'm like, oh, I'm decent. I'm all right. Like, but it took me a while, bro. And that's why I advocate I tell you guys all the time, man, like, no situationships. Please don't do no situationships. I don't care how good she look, bro. No situationships. I'm telling you. The shit never ends well, bro. It never will end well. You might think it's going good. It's not going good, bro. Because you ain't got no plans to commit. And she ain't got no plans to commit. Y'all just waiting for the next best thing to pop up. It's a setup for failure, to be honest with you. And honestly, nobody deserves to be in a situation where they're not good enough for the full-on commitment. They're not good enough for the full-on commitment, but they're good enough for the temporary, like, fake commitment. Like, hey, I'm with you right now, but we know this ain't permanent. We ain't even gonna play ourselves. Like, that's not cool. So, you know, I do not encourage that. But yeah, that's what Love Stories is largely centered on. It's the lead single from my Scratch mixtape, which I'm not entirely sure where we're gonna go with the mixtape, how many songs are gonna be on there. But that's the lead single for the Scratch mixtape. There is another one cooking for that same mixtape as well. And there's some other projects, some other ideas cooking. So, yeah, so we in the midst of it. We in the works. But I'm really excited about the single. I'm really excited about it. I'm super excited about it. I love writing the song. I love how the song came out. And I've gotten some positive reception from the song already. So I want to keep building on that, man. And, you know, and I think what I love the most about the song is I can tell that story without sounding butthurt. Like, when I tell the story, I don't sound like the bitter, angry dude that's like, right? I'm like, you know, just telling you the story. Like, yo, this is what happened. And I got a lot of stories, not like that per se, but just a lot of stories in general. And I pride myself on being able to tell the story through music. Because sometimes some people like their vegetables steamed. Some like their vegetables blanched. Some like their vegetables, and steamed and blanched aren't necessarily the same thing. They're similar, not the same. Some people like their vegetables plain. Some like their vegetables sauteed with a whole bunch of seasoning on it. Some people want their vegetables in a blender, right? And that's how I look at music. I look at everything like that. Like, I might not, maybe you don't like love stories told flat out, straight up and down. Maybe you want to hear them in a song, or you want to see them in a movie, or you want to see them in a book. So that's why I pride myself in being able to tell stories in my music, because some people will only hear your story in a rhythm form. So I'm grateful to be able to do that. I've been doing this since I was a little boy. So, man, please, the link will be in the description for Love Stories. Please go check that song out. And I'll be on a little later with another vlog. I'm out.